Munetaka Murakami.
Tell us about him, please. Tell us about him.
At 22 years old, Rich, he set the single season record in Nippon professional baseball for home runs hit by a Japanese-born player, breaking a record that Sadaharu had owned since 1964. Murakami has enormous power, the kind of power that that dynasties have been built upon. And yet he's got a glaring flaw in that he swings and misses a lot.
Oh,
and he
perfect
strikes
Yankee.
out a lot.
That's a perfect Yankee. I mean, honestly, like Cashman's probably going all the way over there to personally, bring him over on the Steinbrenner jet. That sounds like a perfect Yankee, Jeff. Perfect.
It's really interesting to me, Rich. I'm curious to see how this offseason players who have extreme bat-to-ball skills are valued by the industry, considering that the Toronto Blue Jays made the World Series in large part because of their ability to put the bat on the ball.
You bet.
And as a baseball fan, as someone who my whole life I have just adored this game, man, I loved watching the Blue Jays play. What a fun team to watch, not just because of the bat-to-ball, but because they were able to combine that with superior slug as well. It shows the two are not mutually exclusive. If you're hitting the ball, you don't have to hit it soft. You can have your cake and eat it too. And on top of that, the defense that the Blue Jays played, like they were just a really fundamentally sound team. And Bo Bichette's return, I think, did him a great service going into free agency this offseason, knowing that he is not at 100% by any means. His knee was messed up. He was out for 7 weeks, and he came back and essentially looked like he hadn't lost a step, playing a position that he hadn't played since when he was in the minor leagues. I mean, it was just a phenomenal performance by him. And his free agency, among Tucker and Framber Valdez and Dylan Cease and Pete Alonso, there are a lot of big names, Alex Bregman. Like, it's going to be a really interesting winter in terms of free agents and seeing where they land. And Bo Bichette, to me, is near the top of the list of those interesting players because our team's going to want him as a shortstop, where he was below average defensively last season. Are they going to move him to second or third base? What does a guy like him, who's, his value is best tied to his ability to hit for average, right? Mm-hmm. And batting average is just not something, generally speaking, that's valued at a high level in Major League Baseball. And yet Bichette's also got slug. He doesn't strike out. There's more to it than batting average, but that's one of those components. It's going to be nice to see it get paid this offseason because I think batting average does still matter.
Of course it does. I'm with you. They were a fun team to watch. You're right, the Blue Jays. So in the few minutes I have left with you here, as we're off and running on the hot stove, the four-letter word in many front offices, Boras. How is he looming, and his clients looming, whether they're free agents or not, Jeff, over the next few weeks?
Well, I think it's going to be the next few months because, Rich, you're used to normal free agency where everything happens in the NFL at one time.
Yes.
Like I was getting tweets yesterday, like announce a signing. I was like, you guys don't understand how baseball works, do you? Like it's going to be a little while until we get the big signings. But Scott Boras, as in every year, has a pretty impressive roster. Alex Bregman, Pete Alonso, a Japanese pitcher named Tatsuya Emai, who you should keep an eye on because Emai is really interesting to me in that he looks like a Yoshinobu Yamamoto starter kit. They are the same size at 5'11", and yet they both throw gas, topping out at 99 or so. Emai's breaking stuff is very good. He doesn't throw a splitter quite as much as Yamamoto does, doesn't rely on that, but he has been healthy. He has put up phenomenal numbers in NPB, and he's going to be another guy who's going to be $100+ million pitcher. And it's going to be really interesting to me to see what the market for Japanese players, from Murakami to Emai, Kazuma Okamoto, like there's some real guys who could be coming over this winter, and the market for them is going to be super interesting to me because all the consternation about the Dodgers and the dynasty that they've built. there are organizations out there and owners especially who just want to chip away at what the Dodgers have. And the Dodgers' advantage in Japan right now is enormous to the point where we're joking all of them are going to go and sign with the Dodgers at this point.
Right.
And yet, you know that there are owners right now going to their general managers and saying, we need someone from Japan on this team right now, if only so we can get into this marketplace for down the road when players, more players come over that were in consideration. And sometimes geographical elements factor in heavily. A lot of guys want to stay on the West Coast because of the much shorter flight back home to Japan. Other guys want to go to New York because New York's New York. And it's, you can't argue with that. And yet I think we're going to see some surprising teams this winter in on Japanese players, just trying to get a foothold in that place that has produced as much talent as it has over the last half decade, especially.
Yeah, good luck with multiple MVP in Ohtani and the reigning World Series MVP in Yamamoto saying to anybody, hey, why don't you come here? We're all comfortable. We're all having a good time. Hey, you made it all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Check us out every single day streaming live on Disney Plus and the ESPN app 12 to 3 Eastern.